Woo! Peace, power, and profit, everybody. Welcome to Urban Economic Empowerment Show. I know I kind of been missing in action just a little bit because I've been traveling, I've been in trainings, I've been learning, I've been increased in my skill sets. And so now I want to come on and practice a little bit. Let me see if I can, let me see if I can share the link really fast. So I'm not Garfield, so don't get all mad and bent out of shape. It's just Mo. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I have a little time. I'm gonna go ahead and share this link out. Hope you all are having a really good week. It's very sunny and hot in the Carolinas. So I hope you all are having a better experience where you are, because I remember going outside and I used to absolutely love the heat. But now, honey, runs my butt right back in the house. Okay. Okay. So let's get to it. All right. So I want to talk about keyword searches. Man, I found out like these funding opportunities. I'm going to be looking some up, and I'm like, wow, this has become like writing a research paper. Okay. Oh man. So, but when you think about it, you think about why. Why? What are some reasons that you would still want to go after funding? Well, there's still corporate and foundation funding out there that you can land. There's still opportunities. You just have to get the lingo down pat. And then maybe how you go about maybe reframing your thought on your program. And I know a lot of people when they think about programmatic stuff, they always think about the kids. Maybe they think about reentry, the seniors. But there are so many others that you can get into as well. However, you really do have to brush up on your keyword searches, right? Um, you want to do keyword searches because it helps you find relevant opportunities, especially in federal grants. And sometimes you may be using a word that they no longer use. They kind of wean you out and put you in the correct ballpark, right? Um, you can also use that methodology for saving time. Okay, so if you can narrow your search if you know the keywords that are being used for the opportunities that actually exist. Um, you'll also be able to match eligibility, right? Uh, those are always opportunities. And then guess what? You want to be able to align your program with the funders' goals and objectives. And so I want to spend a little time just kind of breezing through, looking to see what's available. What are some things you can easily put your hands on. So I want to share my screen, and I apologize. Let me if you're in the chat and I can't see you, I'll put the comments up so maybe I can see them all. I think I may be able to see the comments. I'm not sure. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't want it to show on the screen. So let's see what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look for some I'm gonna see what foundations are funding. I want to the first search I'm gonna do. I'm gonna search for foundations that are funding capacity building grants, and the reason is because when you have to shift focus, you're gonna have to revamp your organization. Let's see. I'm going to say foundations with capacity uh, building. Let's see. Capacity building grants. Let's do it like that. All right. And then let's just check. Let's check one. And we'll find out when we go to it. So you see the Kaufman Foundation, the Eugene Marion Kaufman Foundation Capacity Building Grant. Capacity building grants are designed to strengthen organizations' capacity of a 501c3 nonprofit charity organizations by fostering sound leadership, strong boards, professional development for staff, technology, evaluation, strategic planning, communications, and sustainability. All super important, right? And so this is what capacity building is. Getting your leadership in place, getting you a good board, professional development for staff. You want to be able to train your staff. So you have someone, maybe they're really good volunteers and they don't really have the skill set that you need, but man, they're always there. They show up all the time. Then you want to send them to training. Maybe you need to purchase some software, right? Valuation, strategic planning, communication statement, all of that. Communication is definitely with your outreach and your marketing to be able to draw to a broader audience. Super important. All right, let's keep going. All right, so they do this application twice a year. Let's see that I missed the deadline. And they do 100 to 250. So let me see if I missed the deadline. Let's see, rather funding a charity specific program or singular service, capacity building grants look for opportunities to support an organization's focus on internal effectiveness and long term sustainability. These one time short term goals will be awarded to charities that demonstrate a specific capacity gap and who are aligned with our strategic priorities in areas. And we'll start to look at that. Capacity building grants examples. The following provides examples of broad categories and specific organization needs that may be eligible for capacity building grants. This list is not meant to be exhaustive, and additional capacity needs may qualify for these funds. All right, so let's look at collaborative development. Cooperative missions align assessment, facilitate co-creation amongst partners, strategic partnership, and coalition development. Definitely always needed. Communications and marketing, branding, collaborator development and web redesign, strategic communications, plan development, targeting, including target audience analysis. Data and evaluation capacity, building case studies, reports, and lessons learned. Streamline internal audit controls and structuring data sets. Financial planning and fundraising. Budget assessments and feasibility study execution, business model planning and risk assessments, funding strategy development, revenue planning, short-term and long-term financial forecasting. You got human resource. I ain't gonna read all of these. And see, capacity building could deal with each of these different areas. Let's look at the new pilot initiatives. AI, general operating support, and World Cup readiness and engagement. I like it. let's see, special projects, pilot projects, short-term projects, program expansion. I like it. Definitely the board. And I definitely like the strategic planning. All right. So let's go. What do capacity building grants support? Typically, only available to 501c3 nonprofit charities. Capacity building grants are designed to strengthen the organization's capacity to public charity by fostering sound leadership, strong boards, professional development for staff, technology, evaluation, strategic planning, communications, and sustainability. Rather than funding an organization specific program or singular service, capacity building grants look for opportunities to support a charity move forward eternal effectiveness and long-term sustainability. How does the World Cup fit in capacity building? Well, strategically aligned public charities can support World Cup readiness and engagement in various ways. For example, they may provide training and technical assistance to help entrepreneurs and businesses prepare for increased demand. Others might focus on expanding job training programs to equip workers for event relevant employment. Efforts could also include supporting local business districts in attracting visitors or assisting local government with policies that enhance business participation. How much funding can I expect to receive? Anywhere from 100 to 250,000. When does the application period open for capacity building grants? We will open application period for capacity building grants twice a year. The next round opens in late 2025. All right, so we late to the party for this one, so we'd have to come back. We'll come back and we'll find out. We'll come back and we'll find out who when is the next time. Let's see. We'll get the dates. Let's look at the timeline. It closed on April the 4th. I'm too late for that one. So probably won't open again till around October. So collective impact up to 500,000 planning. That one is not open yet. Project, oh, the summer. Okay, so maybe we could be ready for this one. Research is letter of intent, and then sunset. Excuse me. So let's go with the project. I need to get some water. So, all right, so the project grants, the foundation seeks proposals that will contribute to closing the economic mobility gap in Kansas City region. So this one is for Kansas. So let me go and get out of this one already, since we already know this is not our location. So let's find us another one. Okay. Let's see. I could say Carolina, Central Carolina Foundation. Let's do the Sunflower Foundation. Let's see where that's located. You know what? I probably should have did this by state. Kansas as well. Yeah. Let me see South Carolina Foundations. And I may have to leave the live for a second. Ooh. I gotta go get some water. Let's see. I'll have to be right back, y'all. Right back, right back, right back. Okay, I have to be right back. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Stay right. That's how that's the direction that the administration is putting. I'm online right now looking for foundation grants. And I saw that the Mellon grant. What? Also saw how they did it too. They included more students. So that's why I said you can speak with that professors and I look how it's coming up the board. Maybe so we can talk to them about it. Maybe school you may already have in mind. That's what I showed you. Professor, the right one, just let me know. I don't have one yet, but the guy who did Donna said there was a professor in Clark, Atlanta, in the archives of history that was interested. I mean, not Donna, I'm sorry, Fazanta. Interested in the Limo? We're not interested in Limo, but interested in the Dollar Festival, the archives of history. Yes. She got that information. We need to, yeah, we need to make contact. Because oh, I was screaming. I said, God, she done beat us to the punch. She's good, man. She's good. Well, she beat us more than one. Well, she has people that's working with her that knows that we're, that's all. And you just now getting access to those kind of people. That's all. It's not that they, it's not that she's better. It's just that people have attached themselves to her, and they're writing. But if they were smart, I mean, I don't know why people don't do this, but if they were smart, they would write everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like we got a couple over here in the Columbia area. Great writers. But guess what? They ain't trying to. They ain't trying to offer you. If you even ask them, hey, I'll pay you. Show me the ropes. Nope. They'll take you over the business. Oh yeah, black men and women. Yeah, yeah. Don't you worry. We don't crack that code. We don't crack the code. It's just a matter of, just keep on pushing at it, finding a way, make sure you know some stuff you know. But if those professors, I mean, you got their attention, you can leverage it. Yeah, so let me talk to them. Yeah. Because the professors, there's someone that might be talking to, but he's a white guy. I don't care if he's Mexican. I didn't know if that mattered or not. It don't matter to me. Listen, world, one thing you learn about me, I'm non-biased. I'm black first. Don't get it twisted. My foundation, I'm African American, black, whatever you want to call it, first. However, in my actions, I know people always say it all the time, boy, you sure don't act like no, because no, it's not about the green. It's about taking care of your own. Like if we don't get in the spaces where you can get the drink. So if I'm amongst a bunch of black folks and they're not giving me information for me to elevate and upscale at the same time that they're doing it, I don't mind crossing the aisle. And I don't mind putting in the work. You can't entice me with money. You should learn that by now. But I will gain more on information than I do money. I find more value in the practice of what I'm doing than I do money. So that's why a lot of times you won't see me jumping to get the check immediately because I'm grasping or I'm learning something along the way, and that's worthy enough at the time. But if I get to a point where I'm like, okay, you have done too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Just,
Give me a
when
time.
first reach out to Cassandra, yeah.
Yes.
You want to come talk to
But,
her?
yeah, you could. Yeah, you can. I can't do it tonight. Yeah, I want to be in on the contact.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do now, by the time you make that contact, see if I can find some RPs that we can say, hey, how, whatever their mission is, and we find some, hey, can we partner on this? This is something we can do together, you know? Because having that organization is weighs a lot. She landed at 500,000 because she had that university and that research on her side, and the students. So we can do the same thing, but we gotta have a professor. I got credentials, but I'm not a professor. You know. So all right, that's all we want to see. We just got to move strategically and with some. I just got to move with some speed, but we got to just make some contact.
Yeah.
All right.
And bring that professor up to speed.
Well, the professor probably already there. We would be helping him, and he would be helping us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll benefit to him as well now.
So now, well, I'm just doing it because
Mhm.
he said that you know what I think of.
You say, huh? You say one more time?
The NOI fell through. It's not going to happen.
That's what Tiffany said?
That's what they want to say.
Oh, let me call. I don't know. Let me call Tommy. No, maybe you sure he said it fell through, or you sure he said it was about to fall through? Because I think we talked since then. Oh no. I know what he's talking about. No. I I know what he's talking about. I told him that I was gonna tell you that I would put the invoice in for the vendor slash amount. You pay me and then I pay it back so that you don't have to get the slack from your family. You sure? Because I don't want you to make it uncomfortable for you. Boy, you know how people are. So I had said that maybe I should be backwards to it so that Roy doesn't. I don't like when people get, you know. It's on the section. Okay. That's what we talking about. But I told her I didn't want you to be. I didn't want you to have to go through that. Just to do the right thing. I would rather just say, hey, you this much, and I'll pay it back. Do it back. Instead of you do the rest. Oh, it does. It does. She didn't say anything. But you can talk to me about it. I need to get back on the time. I want to leave. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, did it cut off? Oh, Lord. My bad. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to step away for a second, but I'm back. Oh, hey, Dre, what's up? Dre, you need to hit the link. I saw you on a live. All right, y'all. All right, so I'm back. Capacity building. I'm back to capacity building. So yeah, so I switched the search for just Carolina, so I don't have to go through all that information and then come back through. So I am going to look for a capacity building grant that's due. And this one's not due until March 2026, and I wonder if that means that I wonder if that means that I wonder if they're doing multiple funding timelines. So they're funding education outreach projects, programs, and you can be located anywhere in the U.S. And looks like they funded places in Illinois, Colorado, District of Columbia. So you have to submit a letter of intent. When you submit a letter of intent, one of the foundation members will contact you within 5 business days. Oh, I like that. But the application cycles is between October 1st and March 1st. Oh, okay. So the next one is not until October 1st. So we'll go back. We're not going to waste our time on this one. But I think this one we may have a chance to submit this one. Okay, so I got until July. So I need to do a letter of intent. So now here's what I would do, right? And I think that I want to only for Greenville. Only for Greenville. Preferred Greenville. Other eligible locations. So now I do know someone in Greenville that I should partner with, but we ain't gonna waste our time right now. So maybe Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we got. All right. The Hearst Foundation Cultural. Ooh, this is perfect. This might be perfect for something that we're trying to do. More than $100 nonprofit, education outreach, capital projects, training, capacity building. I like it. I like the capacity building because there's some training that I would like to attend. Let's see. All right. The mission of the Hearst Foundation is to identify and fund outstanding nonprofits to ensure that people, all backgrounds in the U.S., can build healthy, productive, satisfied lives. Through the grant making, the Hearst Foundation support well-established nonprofit organizations that address significant issues within their major area of focus: cultural, education, health, and social service, and primarily serve large demographics and geographic constituents. In each of the areas of funding, the foundation seeks to identify those organizations achieving truly differential, differentiated results relative to other organizations making similar efforts of similar populations. The foundation also looked for evidence of sustainability beyond the support. Okay. All right. So, whether providing a scholarship for the deserving students, supporting a rural health clinic, or bringing artists into schools so children can firsthand the beauty of the arts, foundations focus on consistency to help those in need, those underserved, and those underrepresented in society. All right. So, we want to do something cultural, cultural. All right. In the recent past, 25% of the total funding has been allocated. Oh, somebody trying to get in, I think. What's up, Dre?
Hey Mo, you said you saw me on the. I don't want to interrupt your show. You just said, but you said you saw me on the live. Which live did you see me on?
You were it was this guy.
Oh, you talking about my man E, my man who used to sell my. He used to have a clothing store. He used to sell my clothes, and then during the pandemic, he started. I helped him. He got one of the bigger podcasters in America now with Boss Talk. So he
Yeah.
called me. Yeah, he called me to ask my opinion on the thing. But you know, me and him about to do a round table with Ice T and a few other people about this Shannon Sharp thing. We're gonna actually do a round. He's coming up. He's flying up to New York so we could do it together with Ice T. And
Yeah.
the Lord is gonna put a word on my heart for you women. So you might want to watch that. I
Ah,
got a word from the Lord. So um,
ah.
you know,
I
yeah,
said I was and I don't even know the guy.
yeah. His name is
However,
Eric. His name is Elvis.
yeah,
We call him E. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, I was doing something, and I said, let me stop and hear what he has to say because he's talking about Shador, and
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and then he said, let me get my man Andre on, and your little hand popped up in the corner, and I said, and I heard your voice. I said, I know that ain't my Dre.
In the flesh.
But your analysis, the way you expressed it, you're the only person that has come off in that manner. And so I was like, that that's a better conversation than what many are having on how you outline the whole Atlanta and the whole marketing deal. See,
Yeah,
I was
listen,
listening.
Mo, listen. I really, you know me. One thing I learned from being around you guys, because at first I used to just say whatever was on my mind, not through lack of discipline, but me being, me and you both Capricorns, we the most honest people on the planet for the most part. But you know, I really wanted to tell them the truth because I know this stuff on a different level because I used to date. Did I even say that? I might have said it. but I used to date one of the founding three members of Nike's daughter, right? And I learned so much from. I might have did say that to him, but I learned so much from Jacko Bentz from dating his daughter. You know, that was the one fish. That was one of the wives I had. Lord knows, if you talk about the one that got away, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Mo, man, and you know she's had. Not that it means anything on a cool level. It means something on a financial level. She's now head of the Tiger Woods division of Nike. Not that it's super popular, but it's never going to go anywhere because golf is such a major sport. But you know, when I was dating her, she was still living in Las Vegas, going to UNLV, and she was managing the Wynn Hotel. But Nike used to, by me being in the fashion industry, we used to go to the Magic Show, which is the biggest clothing convention. So, she was one of the wives, so I would stay with her. And I was at that time though, I was a simp, and I fell in love with my soon-to-be ex-wife, and I kind of let all my women go, and she was one of them. But before I let her go, man, her father used to love me, Mo. I used to be a sponge. I used to be a sponge off her. I used to go to Oregon. I was a sponge off of her dad. Like, he was showing me the game, like the whole inside of Nike, like the game. And I was stupid. I fell in love. Lord, man, Corey was the fish that got away. Lord, have mercy.
Oh, yes, indeed. I was like, man, Dre over here dropping jewels. Check him out.
Like, for example, what I wanted to tell him was like, I think I did, but like, so what happened was Dion, so Michael Jordan opened the door for what you now understand as sports marketing, right? So what happened was with Dion, Dion was what the NFL needed at that single moment, right? To overtake sports. So what happened was, let me paint it. I can get a little bit more in depth with you, then I'll let you get back to your topic. So let me show you how deep it goes, right? So what happened was this. So don't forget, before Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, basketball was not a live event. Even the NBA Finals was pre-recorded. Up until I think the last time Johnson and Bird met is when you got it live. Then you go into the Bad Boys of Detroit versus the Lakers, and the Bad Boys of Detroit versus the Portland Trailblazers. Now, why am I saying this? So what happened was the hierarchy of sports was the MLB, the NFL, the NBA. Now, what happened was when Mike came in '91 and won that first title, then you had, Gatorade, you had I Want to Be Like Mike, you had Air Jordan. So now the NBA had kind of surpassed the NFL, right? What happened was Deion Sanders was the first NFL player to do what? Have his own shoe. He was Sanders Claw. The sneaker that Nike is actually putting back in the stores right now, and Chris will tell you, when you ask him later when he comes on, Chris will tell you, the Sanders Claw, not only did Deion have his own sneaker, the man had his face under the sneaker in the air bubble. I'll never forget it because I begged my mama for them goddamn sneakers. And so the point that I'm making is, so then look at what he did. When Deion got his own sneaker for 2 straight years, Rod Woodson at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then you seen Thurman Thomas Emmitt Smith signed a big Reebok deal. Then you seen all of these, then sports marketing became a part of the NFL. The NFL was not a marketing league outside of you win the Super Bowl, I'm going to Disneyland, and outside of what? Wheaties cereal. But they were not a marketing type league. They had a nice little, 5-year run until Paul Tagliabue, like I said in the video, say, don't take off your helmet. But by that time, guess what happened, though, Mo? By that time, though, when the don't take off your helmet thing came, baseball had a strike and a lockout. the NBA also had a lockout. So guess what was the number one sport now because of the baseball strike of '93? The
Yeah.
NFL. And once that happened, is when you seen the NFL tighten their reins. They wasn't really worried more. They wasn't much worried about individual player marketing no more. We're the number one sport,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's when you seen Dion taper off and other players. I mean, now you still have sneaker deals, but it wasn't as what it was before in that little 3-4 year window where they was really pumping. I'm telling you, because I remember I had the Bruce Smith Nike when Bruce Smith got him and what you call shared a sneaker. He had a dope royal blue, white and black sneaker. I had that one. That was what 90. I was in 8th grade, so that was 90 something. I remember Rod Woodson sneaker. I remember now, mind you, the only NFL athlete before Dion. Now, the Bo Jackson was called the Air Trainer High.
Mm-hmm.
But Bo only had a 3-year run, whereas Dion had a 5-year run, right? Now, think about this. Dion gets the sneaker, Rod Woodson, Bruce Smith. Now, think about this. Who was the next big athlete to also have that start to happen around that time in the MLB after the strike? Ken Griffey Jr.,
Mm.
right? It was all a part of what Nike was doing. And I was explaining that to somebody the other day who don't know nothing about politics and how it affects your money. I'm like, bro, when you're buying a Nike, you're paying for the marketing of the player. You're not even paying for the sneaker. You're
Mm-hmm.
literally paying for these players' contracts, like that they pay to wear. So when you buy a $200 Jordan or LeBron or at the time a penny, right? Like you was paying for their contract because they were the first sneaker company to make their marketing based strictly solely off the athlete and their lifestyle after the Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and so Dion, when you look at Dion, he was the necessary evil for that moment. Do you think they wanted to kind of give him that? No, but it was like, yo, it was one of those things, business.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, that's what it was. So but I just wanted to give you like that layered understanding of that.
Yeah. When it definitely comes to marketing and brand business, bringing in funding from multiple sources, he definitely does an outstanding job. Like just some of his recent uh, campaigns. They say April 2024, Sanders partnered with Boost Mobile to launch the limited edition of the Motorola Razr, branded his signature and mantra, "You got to believe, you got to believe," right? Then he's been partnered with Aflac, where he worked alongside with Nick Saban on those commercials with the Aflac duck, right? Working, sharing things like the injury and insurance coverages and things like health insurance coverages and things of that nature. And then, of course, Nike came along and helped with his portfolio. And then in the food industry, you have KFC, Pizza Hut, Smuckers, all of these also have added to his portfolio. Then you got Redcon, which is a sport nutritionist and energy drink company.
Yep, I sometimes I use their pre-workout Total War, Redcon. Yep.
That's pretty good. Okay. I've
You know
never heard.
what? I'll be honest with you. The pre-made one that you can buy at like Vitamin Shop, where you can
Hmm.
buy like the $3 bottle where you drink, is just a one serving. That one is
Yeah.
actually better than the powder one that you
Hmm.
gotta mix to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I use it. The one I use right now is Mother Bucker from Bucked Up. But sometimes I use Total War. It's pretty good.
Okay. And then you have Californian almonds, right? Promoting health and wellness through almonds and things of that nature. And then, of course, one of my favorites, the blenders, the eyewear. I got some. I got some for my birthday, so I absolutely love them because the sun is bright. Okay. Uh, So when you brought that up, the whole marketing idea, I was like, yeah, the spin that you put on it, um, and how it brought so much attention to him and the sport, you know, and I don't think that's a bad thing, from my opinion. I love when you can leverage other uh, funding opportunities to help your own situation. I don't know why, if someone finds a different opportunity that increases their net worth, why it has to be so taboo. You know, that's what drives me. So one of the things I'm trying to do, the reason I've been using the lives and sharing funding opportunities and different ways to look at funding from a programmatic perspective, because of course that's what I'm involved with, but to show people that don't think of money just one way of borrowing from the bank, just getting a bank loan. There's several ways that you can approach it. If you take your for-profit business and begin to profit with a nonprofit, and maybe you just offering some type of employability training or skill sets training that will help increase the skills of young adults, or maybe even some people who are just looking to reclass or looking for a whole nother skill set, that you can leverage that money if you work together. Is a whole another opportunity out there that we kind of just don't talk about. And so I've been taking some classes, and one of the one of the opportunities. So I've been, of course, having a recent family member go to the league. We've learning how to leverage, like, hey, you don't have to give me any of your contract money for me to be successful. However, if you show up in the town and I can organize my program around your starter, then guess what? I'm winning, because we can gather when Keon came home and he did the camp last month. At first, I mean, he wasn't really feeling it, but guess what? When that day came and all of those kids showed up and he was the man for a day. I mean, not like he ain't the man all the time, but I'm saying, amongst the young people, he became the man, and he got to throwing the football out there with them, and then all of a sudden he wanna go and help coach and do the stuff. He got super excited, and so now they'll be having another one in the next month or two. So it did something for him as well. Like, let's not think that we don't do something for the player or the entertainer when you call on them just to be a present body. So we're leveraging him to do some STEM programs in the area. So now that you got the kids' attention, you know that not all the kids are turned off, right? But we're leveraging the flag football to be able to get it done. And so I am super excited. I think they've picked up on his agent. And I think another wise choice that they're making, well, some of the, I guess, more the local, I would like to say, people are grasping that, hey, if you don't get drafted to get on the field, get signed to try to get on the practice field. You still making money, because if you go back, let's say, you went to school, you got your little education, but you don't have a job lined up, but you still love football. Please get on the practice squad and make that 250, 300, 400K, just to be out there helping someone else get ready for the next level. Shoot, I'm with it. I mean, some people may not look at it that way, but it could still lead for opportunity for you. What's up, Sonny?
How you doing? How you doing?
Man, I ain't seen you in years.
Not no years. I still keep up with y'all. Just haven't been tapping in because I'm building.
Okay, building. Okay. Okay. Catch me up then.
Um, shoot. The last time I talked to you guys, I think I had got a car. I think.
Yep. Yeah, got a car.
Yeah, I moved. I got a house now. I got my own house.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, it's,
Man.
I'm just I'm learning it. Like just people think that when you just buying a house is one thing, but you have to have extra expenses. Like there's things that come with buying a house, and it's not just your utilities as far as electric, gas, and stuff. Those is gonna be a lot, but like to an extent. But you have where you have like in my neighborhood, you have to keep up the area a certain way, so you have to pay for gardeners. If you have a pool, you have to keep it at a certain color because they have like helicopters that actually it's crazy, but they have helicopters that fly around and they look for people's backyard that have pools at a certain color, and then they find them. Like
What?
yeah, it's a lot of shit out here. So
Dang,
yeah, and then
that's
so yeah, it's a lot. But I had my home, I had got it's a tax lien home, and so it's a lot that I've been putting into as far as I had to do the replumbing, I had to do fix the windows, I had to fix the doors. Like it's an old school home, so my refrigerator that I had bought was too big to even fit in the kitchen, like through the kitchen doors. Yeah, so it's a lot to it. So I'm just rebuilding and just going as I'm learning as I go.
oh well, hey, listen, congratulations. Congratulations. Hey Drake, I see that little comment you put in the chat too. Talking
Yeah,
about,
because you said you were disappearing, so I thought you was making supper like you supposed to, young lady. I'm just trying to save your life.
you're right.
That's
Hey,
all.
listen, you're absolutely right.
Listen, I know how it is, man. Listen, everything starts when the king come home. I know you. Listen, I know you know better.
He not home yet. He over there stripping and waxing floors.
Yeah,
$8.
How you
yeah,
been, Joy?
man. Listen, man. Listen, Sonny. I'm just grinding like you, trying to keep food on my wife's table.
Hey, I was watching your little boxing thing. It gave me inspiration and shit. I was like, man, got me and my son over here working out and shit.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah. Drake consistent now. Drake is jumping in.
He got up. They all rang out there, and he looked like he was all right.
Oh, I didn't see. I'm glad you said it because I told you I don't keep up with the Mets until All Star break. I gotta check that because I don't know if he got hurt. I got I gotta check that though. Good looking. Nah, Sonny. You saw me put the one when I was showing people how to do the timing exercise, right, Sonny? You talking about where you do a minute lightweight punches and then you do a minute of haymakers, right? You talking about that one?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yo, Sonny, let me tell you something. If you try that on like the first one I did is a 120-pound bag, which is the heaviest bag, right? You feel like your arms are gonna fall off because what happens is by being so heavy, the impact of the punch it lands between here and here. So because it's such a heavy bag, right? Now when you do the lighter bag, you're gonna punch through it, but it's gonna more impact the forearm and the wrist because the bag is moving, right? But that heavy one, woo, Lord, my knuckles were purple.
Yes, indeed.
But
That's
nah,
a,
I'm just working, man. And let me tell you something, Sonny. That stock you put me on last year with that dividend, man, I've been killing them with dividends from that stock, bro.
which
Killing
one?
them. The
yeah.
one I
You
put
still
you,
can. I got plenty more, but I'm
the one I put you on,
Oh,
Mo.
we got it. I think I
Yeah.
got. Yeah, we got it that day you told me.
Yep.
Yeah,
My
well,
last.
I'm a probably because I'm gonna start my own show, and probably like in a few months, because I'm gonna end
Mhm.
up because I got too much going on, so I'm gonna probably end up leaving this job and just like doing remote work from home. And I'm at the same time I'm probably gonna start a show on what I'm doing to actually build and like show how it actually works. Like the shit I've been talking about for years when I used to be on the pages making 20% a day
Mhm.
and niggas used to talk shit. Like now you got motherfucking content creators talking about the 20%. The same thing I was talking about. It works.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I want to show people like how you can actually do things from the ground up and actually build. This shit works.
Mm.
Thanks. Shout out to Mo. He changed my life.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Mo's Capricorn, man. Let them know, Mo. Capricorn. We the master builders. We the grand architects.
Woo woo.
We the grand architects.
Yeah. That was that Zim right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's a cheap buy too.
It's a
Like
cheap buy. It's a
Yeah,
cheap
yeah.
buy.
$15.36.
Well,
Yeah.
it, it
It
had
took a
dropped
hit
to
when the market went
$11.
down. Yep.
So this is the thing, right? Like every time you get money, you want to put 20% into your like a saving, which would be cash to the side, and then
Right.
you want to put like 80% into the market. And
Mm-hmm.
every few days or every few weeks, you want to take
Mm-hmm.
that cash and actually make it like it's your paycheck. Put 20 to the
Mm-hmm.
side, flip it back into the market, right? And keep on doing 20%. Like if you hit big, you hit big, but keep on doing 20% on every day on an everyday aspect and make a difference. And twenty
Yep.
percent sound a lot to a lot of motherfuckers, but it's really not. Because if I put $900 in, 20% of that is $180. I could put that in on something that's running fast early in the morning, get about 1,000 of them, and it run to about 18 to 20 cents.
Mm-hmm.
That's my quota. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So these things are easy. We just make it hard.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I tell you this, one of the things that I try to do from the beginning nowadays is try to tell any man, you ain't got no kids, stay that way. You ain't got no external bills,
Man,
stay that
like,
way.
hey, I don't even want to get in that conversation. That shit crazy. But
But I tell
no,
them, I have to
no,
tell them
but
that
that's
because
for
you got to.
anybody, right? Anybody right now. I don't want to say just men, but men and women right now. Like if you at the age of like anywhere from 16 to 25, that's the like you're guaranteed to be a millionaire by
Yes,
in the next 5 to 10 years if you keep consistent with the same method. Guaranteed.
I agree. The, qu-
Guaranteed.
the quickest way to anything is a straight line. And what I try to tell men, like, listen, you got all your life for that family. Listen, get your finances and get into the habit first of getting to some money. Because when you work at a deficit, whew,
I would
man,
tell you like this, right? If like say for instance a lot of motherfuckers be on the page of they get life insurance policies or uh uh they get money from when people had policies on them when they was little, right? If you was to take that money or grant money that people gave you and you was to put that into a dividend, match it out, right? Look for the
facts.
highest dividend that pay you every month, right? They got
I agree.
like Palantir's dividend pays every month. Not
I,
Palantir the company, but Palantir the leverage company pays every month $5 a share, right? So now you get 1,000 of them with $50,000. You ain't got to work at all for the rest of your life.
Oh, you just gave me a no. Palantir the left. What? Palantir, the
Palantir, the company, right? They have like every company has leverage company.
leverage company. Gotcha.
A lot of people don't like to get into the leverage companies because they feel like the leverage companies aren't long term. A lot of these people, a lot of real like investors or people that be on the YouTube and stuff like that, they like to talk about long term, which is cool. But a lot of us in reality, we ain't long term people. And so like to get into something, if you do have a lump sum of money, this is what you want to do is get into these dividends just to understand that I can get paid long term on my own and I can get paid a lump sum at one time every month. So for instance, if you do have 50,000 to put into that, right? And you do buy 1,000 shares, it'll be on the page of where you get paid 5,000 every month. Then it's on the page of where you're not going to even be taken out every 5,000. If you really look at it on an aspect of I'm just using this as an investment just for 1 year, and I'm not going to take out. You'll accumulate so much with your drip that you'll accumulate more cash and more stocks into it to where you can do a whole lot. That's when you start getting into other aspects of where you can start taking it out, putting it into real estate companies or putting it into different investments. And like you get what I'm saying? So
Yes, I'm tracking. Keep it rolling.
well I'm working at the same time, so I'm
Oh,
just
uh, oh god. Hey, I was trying to look up that ticker while you were.
oh, it's PLTY. I got a lot of them for y'all. So what I'm trying to do right now, I have four different accounts and I'm trying to my one of them is my long term account that I have been working on for a long time anyway, but I'm building up other accounts and trying out different things. So in one of them, I'm doing nothing but uh like dividends, and in another one, I'm doing nothing but like small accounts and Russell accounts, and just seeing where that goes because I've noticed a fluctuation in the market with different companies and how things are going. So a lot of them are doing where they do small jumps
Yeah,
based on they're either going to distill them in the market, I mean delist in the market, or they're going to end up doing a reverse split. So I mean, this is not financial advice. I just got my own thing where I'm just practicing with it just by me watching it. So I just been investing little by little into small companies that's been building, and then I'm just waiting for it to jump. I got a stop loss on all of them just to build up extra cash and seeing how that works on certain accounts.
yeah, yeah.
But it's just that's why I say it's not no advice. It's just I'm learning as I go, and as I'm building with my method, I can be able to kind of dibble and dabble and play around. But said in the beginning, they was kicking my ass.
Yeah, yeah, but you've practiced long enough to find to get some tangibles out of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I mean I got out of the method. You go through so many emotions, and that's where I want to be able to talk about. Like I want to create a show to be able to talk about the emotions that you actually go through in the stock because it's an up and down thing. You have happy moments, you have sad moments, you have pissed off moments, you have everything, especially when you're dealing with money and the aspects of how you can win a lot or how you can lose a lot. You know, it makes a big difference. And then you have certain times where like you might be in the beginning stages, at least for me, was on the page of where I'll be looking at my phone all the time, or I'll be looking at the computer all the time, trying to see what my portfolio is doing, what the stock is doing, where can I jump in at this, and what can I, it's crazy. but you have to develop a method and just really stick with your method.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Because it's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what works for me may not work for you, you know, that kind of thing.
yeah, that's definitely true. That's always true for me. Is finding my way through my little method. I keep my little method because I'm like I can't use everybody else's method because this is what I understand. Um,
Well, there's no right or wrong way to invest. The key is to invest and get started,
Hey,
and you and create your own methodology that works best. As long as you in the game, you gonna win eventually. You know,
yeah,
I take my lumps at times. Well, I would say this. I, I've I've been in it long enough to where it's no such thing as a lump, but you learn the ebbs and flows of the market,
hmm
right? And you learn that patience is not only a virtue, it's a discipline when it comes to investing. And he's right. We're not a long term people because by us not having the money that most people have, we have a sense of urgency when we see a little bit of bread, right? Um, if we were more inclined to be long term, like I said on your show last week, if people to listen to Sonny Boy or Chris or Umo during the pandemic, most of our friends who were on the show who fell off, they would be in better financial position. But they didn't want to. It was just like, all right, we ain't got nothing to do. We can't go outside. Let's listen to Mo when Garfield's off the air. It's like, yo, but get in the game. Nah, but now, you know what I mean? People, they used to listen, it'd be 20 people in the chat. But out of those 20, I know 10 to be like, yo, I'm struggling, yo. I'm like, nigga, I don't know what you did with that money. I don't know what y'all did with that money. But, you got to be in the game, man. You
hey,
know,
I'm. That's something else to tap into, but that's something that need to be studied because in reality, I'm gonna say with us, that's a psychological condition because I could talk to different races about stock that don't know shit about it, and they'll hear it, get into it. I done had a bunch of different people that's different races that get into it, but when it comes to talking to our own, it's like a complicated issue. Yeah, and then if they see like before when I used to talk about it, it was more like, well, why you don't have this? Why you don't have that? And then when I did start having that, niggas just still came with excuses about, oh, they ain't got time, or it's too difficult, or this and that. Like every excuse in the book. But in reality, it's like a psychological condition that we have to glorify the broke shit and what comes with broke shit. What comes with broke shit is the only way I can get money is if I scam motherfuckers, if I rob motherfuckers, if I do some kind of illegal shit. But it can't be where I gotta be a square ass nigga or I do some square ass shit what's considered square to really make it out here. And so it's a real condition. And you can go to any hood in the fucking United States and talk to any black and it'll still be the same shit.
yeah. You know what? Um, I hate to say this, but I just don't even offer the financial literacy piece anymore. That's why I started.
I stopped talking about stock a long time ago. Like shit.
Yeah,
People still think I'm in the streets still. On some whole other shit.
um, I started doing the reason I started getting into the grants and learning it because I was like I do share with the young people, but because what happens is you can you can develop a how to and just share the different apps and paper trade just the idea of like you're saying just invest in dividends until you begin to understand some of the methods or what it means or how to view the charts or the fundamentals, whether it's the financial statements or it's the news, things of that nature. But people don't have the attention span. Like if it's not disagreement, then they don't tap in. And a lot of times, you share the information live because we really could be without the cameras, right? just your own little back group, but you share the information live with hopes that okay, maybe someone will hear some information that will help them, like saving 5, 10, 15, $20. I started saving $30 a month for my nephew a year ago. And man, his little portfolio is doing great. So I'll allow him to pick some stocks every now and then when I'll let his buying power build up, and when someone says something, I'll let him go ahead and I'll let him pick something. But his little portfolio doing well. And he'd be over here trying to count his little money, going out there looking for cars, talking about, let me see how much I need to save. So it's kind of cute. And my niece, her little portfolio as well. So if you would just put it away, and like you said, Sonny, if you just put some away and then reinvest some of that uh, and allow it to grow, then you could make yourself out of a believer. Like at some point, people have to make themselves out of a believer. It's not, the onus is not on me to teach you. The onus is not on me to come and share with you or to convince you or to influence you. I just need to be in the vicinity and saying something that you could benefit from, and either you get it, and if you don't. And so I stopped allowing people to put that stamp on me. Because I was like, that man, that mess is, like you said, it's mental. Man, that start messing with you mentally, and you the one putting in the work. I'm like,
Hey,
damn.
I think we got to start working on some reverse psychology or something. Like if you ain't investing, you got to look at them like they some bum ass nigga or something.
Yeah, like what's wrong with you, And so
Almost like
I
if you sitting at home playing PlayStation in your boxes, you got to look at them like that.
yeah, like you can play PlayStation, but you better have something put away, because don't wait for a life experience event to happen, whether it's age or injury or uh, just lifestyle period, maybe transition into another job. And it could be a darn promotion. It doesn't necessarily always have to be negative, right? What are you gonna do with that promotional money? Like I'll be waiting. So now I have this thing now. Shoot, I have my clients. I have all my payments going to a whole other account I don't even see. And one day I was, I said I was doing something in that account. I went to a bank and I was like, oh shit, I got some money, because I was like blindly putting funding away so that I would well, it was really just so I can just have something for the rainy day. But then I was like, man, this is so cool. I need to keep doing this. And so now, and then when I went to the business boot camp, and it was like, oh, your fees are too low. You need to increase your fees. And so I started gradually increasing on some of the services. And so now when I get the payments, I just put them away. I'll put them away, but now I need to start doing something with it. um, I really need to get back on my strategy, because I was just already investing in some assets, but I haven't really been, working on my little. I was doing $20 a day. You were doing 20% a day, so I just need to start paying attention again, because my day had become so consumed I couldn't even look at the market. And I was like, man, I know how to make good plays on a day trade, to add to what I already have in my investment. I know how to do some day trading a little bit, but I haven't allotted that time because I let people take advantage of they'll interfere. If they know you're doing something good, that's another thing. You got to watch people. If they know you're doing something good for yourself, they'll start calling you during that time. And you're like, damn, why did I get busy all of a sudden from this time to this time? Because you opened up your big mouth, told somebody what you were doing, and now they're starting to interfere. So I had to start cutting people off. Forget that drama. Don't call me. Voicemail. Google voicemail. Google voicemail. So yeah. But I tap into some shenanigans every now and then now. I'm not obsolete from that, because I like a little shenanigans sometimes to redirect my mental thought for the day. uh, before I get into something different. But yeah, I appreciate y'all coming in and give y'all a little 2 cents. I'm gonna be my niece is taking a cybersecurity class, so I have to be her little partner in crime doing the class. So I'm actually learning it while as she go, so that I can assist her in understanding it, so that she can pick up these skills and whatnot. So I just wanted to come and share a little bit. I'm still gonna get into my maybe tomorrow, looking at some foundation grants and some opportunities out there with the universities, partnering with the universities and things like that. So I'm loving that.
No,
So,
I hear you. I mean, I've been said it was psychological years back when I said I remember me and Mo was on Sarnetta show when Garfield was still messing with Sarnetta, and I ain't y'all watching Mo show, and I said, 'cause ain't none of them serious. Remember that, Mo? I said, ain't none of them
yep,
serious. I said, 'cause what
yep,
happened was, remember
yep.
1 or 2 times Garfield would go off the air and you would come on, and what happened was you would leave the title the same as
Uh-huh.
Garfield had it by mistake. And how
Mm-hmm.
many people it would be hundreds of people in the chat until we start talking about money. And man, you would have thought we just said their mother the way they ran out there. I said, man, y'all are some weirdos, man. Y'all saying arguing over deities that you can't prove, but when we talk about sustaining your life, then you gonna run out the chat.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is weird.
Yep. So I'm gonna yep. So I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna identify my little foundations. I'm gonna get in here and practice my grants. But I'm gonna jet out in a second because I have to get in this class. But yeah.
Yeah, but when I do that round table though, I'll send it to you, Mo, in your
Yes.
what you call.
Send it to me because I say Dre in these streets. I done found them. Appreciate you for coming on and having a good
Say it
workout.
again. You said you see me in them streets. What now?
I said, Dre in these streets, I found them. He been hiding from the sister.
Nah, man, I'm just trying to feed my wives, Mo. You know me, I keep it simple. I'm just trying to put food on my wife's table, man. That's it, man.
Well, keep them happy then, okay? Keep them happy.
Listen, you know my slogan. I feed them and then go in their purse while they sleep.
Ah!
That's it.
All right,
That's it. All right, yo.
Peace, power, and profit.
Yep.